Yeah, what brings me on to when you talk about stress and mental health and everything, sometimes people, well, the people that work for you don't always consider the leaders' mental health and the kind of stress that they're going through. How stressful has it been for you?
Whenever something's stressful, I ask myself as a discipline the question, what am I stressed about? Because typically it's more than one thing. But then I kind of grade it as to what am I most stressed about.
A bit like the new decision-making strategy.
Yeah, I kind of break it down.
Stressed about.
Yeah, I think you've got to break anything down into something that's manageable. And if you allow it and you know, for me, I don't know about everybody else, but it may be typical for others that if I start to stress about one thing, sometimes something will add to it. And then, you know, all of a sudden you can start to snowball. So I think you have to take a breath, take a step back. It's useful to jot them down. And the key one for me has been if I write something down and I'm stressed about it, but I genuinely don't believe there's anything I can do that's specific to change it, I almost throw it away because it's not going to go away. But if I can't do anything about it, if I can't physically do something, or, you know, and sometimes what I'll just do then is I'll reach out to a friend, whether it be family member or colleague, and I'll just chat about something or chat around it so that I can kind of get my head busy with something else. And I don't mean that avoidance is a good technique. I'm not trying to promote that. But I think everybody's got their own kind of way to manage things and manage that stress. And this, without a doubt, is a terribly stressful time. But you could argue that even if you didn't know an individual and I said to you, right, here's a picture of somebody, what are they stressed about right now? And you don't know what industry they're in, you know they're stressed about the coronavirus, you know, and the uncertainty and the messaging and trying to figure out what we should and shouldn't be doing and what's the right thing to do. You know that any family members they've got, they're going to be concerned and worried and anxious about that. When can they see them? When can they give them that hug? All this kind of thing. And that's before you've even started in terms of the workplace and whether their sales leaders have got to lay anybody off or, you know, go through those difficult conversations or rethink their whole sales model. You know, that's before you even get into that detail. So I think I'd be really surprised if somebody came in and said they didn't feel some sort of mild anxiety or stressed about particular things at the moment. But I think just picking something or a way that works for you that helps you get through it. And sometimes just stop what you're doing and ring a friend. It's a bit like that. Who wants to be a millionaire, isn't it? When you phone a friend. Yeah, it helps because it's a distraction. You can get just spending that time talking to somebody and trying to get back to a sort of a level place is useful.
I know sometimes you dwell on something for so long that you build it up to be even worse than what it is, and you don't get anywhere. It just sort of runs around in your head. Whereas sometimes if you go off, do something else and come back to it, you've almost got a fresher perspective on it, haven't you? So yeah, I've got what you mean.
Yeah, and then coming back to what we said right at the beginning about, you know, inaction's the worst thing. If you can, you know, and you are I tend to doodle and write things down, but if you can write down the particular thing, circle what the key thing is that's stressing you, and you can, whether it's a mind map or some sort of draw, whether you can figure out some of the reasons for it and some of the things you think might dampen it, reduce it, just by doing it is going to help because you feel like you're doing something about it. But the inaction part is what I stress is just going to increase that issue. It's going to make it worse if you just, it'll just fester. It's probably going to affect your sleep. It may certainly affect your mood. It could affect, you know, your overall health. So I think it's important that, you know, jot it down. If you can't do anything about it, reach out to a friend, talk to somebody. And there is a lot of professional support out there. I've noticed, you know, whether it be through Facebook or
ask somebody in the group.
Yeah, ask somebody in the group. Yeah, I saw a lady actually this morning, just briefly, in your group that was talking about that. So yeah, there's help available. I mean, reach out and talk to those people that they care, they want to help.
Yeah.
So just make the call.
Yeah.